right now it's all been sanded down. We're working our way from the quarter forward. I've done some of the work up here in the trunk. All the line to this is real nice. I'm going back over it right now with 180. But it's showing me up. I put 2 coats of primer on it. I'm sanding it down to show me the little lights, high spots, of any kind of imperfection anywhere. Taking out all the little sand marks, and I'm getting ready to be able to reprime it. I got a couple little spots to go back and do a little bit of spot 2 here and there. A little tiny spot right here. A little tiny bit of metal glaze and get rid of that. Putting a primer on it and shadow casting out like that gives you a way to find all the little tiny things that you miss. That's where I'm at right now. We're going to be sanding out on the trunk and 180. Already did up all in the top. Work our way around the back. I'll reprime this section and start going forward. Show up there where JT's up on the top. He's got done welding up all the top seams on the doors and getting all the gaps just right up on the top of the doors. So he's feathering all that out right now and getting ready to put the primer up on that section. We got the hood out here. We cleaned it all off, aviation stripped it and acided it a little bit. Media blasted it. It was totally rust under all the paint that they put on. I mean, you see all the way here, it's, you know, holes all the way through it. I think I've showed that before, but just giving a quick look. We're going to try to salvage this and put this back up. Worked out a little bit today. Let's see what we have. Primer. They primed all that. That's everywhere. I mean, these are deep. I was thinking I was going to just media blast off the top and clean it, but we got to acid wash. All this has got to be acid washed. I mean, we did away with the inside and acid washed the inside. Well, I'll have to acid wash the outside and then clean it off again, neutralize and clean it off again. We can tape off all the holes underneath and cover it. Alright, this is the hood. We media stripped it lightly and everything, but we didn't want to go too far before we go to removing all the rust that's embedded in the big flat surfaces. So man, this was what I talk about with buying a car that's in primer, that somebody's done, that doesn't show you documentation of how the process was done, the restoration. If you don't do the restoration of the metal the right way, clean the metal and do the right way, you'll have a comeback of rust. And that's what this is. This was all going on underneath of the primer on this hood. So this hood's been stripped down lightly. We're going to continue and strip it and acid wash it and remove all this, and we'll go over and media blast it lightly again. And the process of doing it this way is because it's only one layer of steel. We don't want to warp it and end up with more problems and stretch it and straighten the metal. to clean it up a little bit more, but it was after we acid washed it and everything else, I just ran over it with this a little bit, knocked it off. Let's flip it over and get the other little spots, and then I'm gonna sit down and get it in epoxy. It is getting better and better. It's almost done. We stripped this. We've acid washed it. We went back and re-media blasted it with a real fine media to get everything out after we neutralized it. And I went back and de-ate it so it's real clean for wiping it down and getting any kind of particle residue you can out of it. And it'll be moved in there, and we'll put it into an epoxy and a urethane primer and lock this down real good, and it's really clean. Alright, we got the other hood. Me and JT have went and drilled all the spot welds out of this one. The other hood that we're using, this piece is just completely full of holes. This is rusty, but it's solid. Everywhere it's good and hard. It doesn't have any holes in it. It has surface rust over it. And we popped all the welds out, and we're going to just pop it out of here now. Needs a little bit of finagling up in there. Not much to get out. There you go. And that's the piece we're going to take it out, glass bead this, and take it and weld it in this other deck lid hood.
After scratching off some of the lead, found out there's underlying rust in the seams. Taking it all out, cleaning it with a waffle wheel, putting some rust encapsulator up in there.
We fitted the hood back on, put the rear brace in. I've went through all the acid wash, all the primers, everything we've done with it. Removed all the inside rust between the tracks, have fitted the hood, tacked it in place, bolted in, got it really lined up with the front of the car, and now we're tacking in the rest of the back piece. And then we're going to continue on and remove this piece. We're going to place in the inner fenders once we have the springs and the set on the hood and get it really lined up to the front better. And, I know I probably haven't been filming as much as I should on some things. It's been a lot of sanding, a lot of hammer and dollying, working little dents as we come forward. A lot of block sanding, priming, putty work. It's just a dirty process. I don't pick up the video camera as much. Now we're back into some metal work towards the front end, getting the hood and everything, so I'll pick it up a little more. And hey, go ahead and pull that piece out of there, and we're going to take that off to show you that this is all the rust that's inside of this piece. And we're going to go through and clean all this out, and clean all that out, and treat all that and put it back in. If we would have just cleaned what we can see, this all would have been underneath of what you can't see. Good. that's helped out a lot. It's tightened it up a lot. All the tin cans gone in that area. The low spot, I'll have to stick the gauge up on it and check it. But it really feels good, man. Alright, we got this area right here. And we got a line to do this way. Do you got a line under there, Mark? Alright, that's our last low area on the big area. But it has tightened up a lot, man. I mean, we could gauge it and check it. I don't know, I'll say gauge it and check it. It's pretty firm. The tin can and everything that way is all gone. Alright, let's do right here. You got that, Mark? Right here? Alright, here we are on the roof of the Buick. Quite a lot of work on it. This roof was walked on. It had extensive dents over there through the whole thing. If you look at it closely, you'll see a lot of pinning and star shapes and different graphs through it is where it's been pinned and stretched and tightened up. All the metal is really nice and tight now. I had it tin canning on me all through this section here. We did on that side over there. We've went through quite a bit of it and had it really nice and tight. We've metal filed it and gauged it. Have a real nice shape to it now. Real tickled, so we're getting ready to lay a coat of mud over top of it and smooth out our little pin spots, and I'll show it to you as we get her cleaned up. But let me climb down here, I'll show you real quick. Alright, here we're in pretty close, you can see. And all this area, you can just push it in with your finger. Now you can really push on the whole thing. I can even lean on it. I'm sitting here above it, leaning down on it, and you can't push on it. It's all stiff, nice and strong now. The roof's back where it needs to be for its tensile strength to be able to lay some mud on it. And if you look at it with a gauge, we got all these out. A lot of work, but really happy. Big footprints here, big footprints over there, footprint over there, footprint in the back. Big U-shaped pieces out on the outside curve. Car's sat a long time. It's had its wear and tear, that's for sure. Alright, I'll show it to you once we got her cleaned up. Alright, here's the inside of the hood on the Buick. I've shown you step-by-step ways of taking it apart. Now we've glass beaten and finished and removed all the rust that was inside underneath of the old piece. Placed it all into an etch. It's all in an epoxy etch primer, and this is the inner reinforcement that's all been redone. All the pieces are together now, and it's had its repairs, and it's going to be put back in. So that's that. I'll show you more as we go. But I'll be welding that back together and getting that piece in. So